Well, good morning and welcome back to Little French Homestead. If you are new, welcome. My name is Sherry. In today's video, we are going to be getting to try chicken enchiladas with red sauce. And as a side dish, I'm going to be preparing my recipe of chicken flavored jasmine rice. So this red sauce enchiladas are a game changer. It is packed with full of flavor and just the right amount of heat. If you're a fan of spicy food or just looking to level up your cooking skills and add to your flavor profiles, you are in the right spot. I am excited to share this recipe with you. Now, I have made green enchiladas before, and my family was split down the middle on it. Some liked it and some don't. I think it had to have something to do with the salsa verde, but they all loved this recipe. So I am going to go ahead and link the recipe in the description box below. I am also going to leave a link of my video of the dry rice mixes that I've made and prepared for you in this video. So you're going to want to preheat your oven to about 375 degrees, and you're going to want to grease a 9x13 baking dish, which I totally forgot to do, but nothing did stick, thankfully. So as you see here in my pan, I'm frying up a little bit of oil, and I'm whisking that flour until it forms a paste. I will then add the chili powder, cumin, and some of my homemade chicken broth. Now the chicken broth was a little still frozen, so it was still kind of congealed. When I went to use it for my chicken rice flavoring, I had put it in the microwave for about 3 to 4 minutes just so it wouldn't still be congealed, and I didn't want it also cold. I wanted to go ahead and have it pretty much heated up already. But then you also going to want to add some tomato sauce into your pan. Now, I had some, it was a very small can of red enchilada sauce. I had a buy one, get one free. So I bought a red and I bought a green. So I did use that, and that really just added some more flavor in my enchilada sauce. You're also trying to remember in these next couple of videos that we're putting out is you want to use from your pantry as much as you can. And that's why I've used that instead of a can of tomato sauce. You'll want to simmer that down till it gets thickening, and then you're going to season to taste. So if you want it more spicy, you can add chili flakes and you can have some more cayenne pepper, or you don't want to add too much, then leave those out. So as you see here, I am starting to cook that rice, getting that going. I did 2 cups of rice that are already in the pre-mixed with all of my chicken bouillon seasonings. But again, I added 4 cups of rice. What I usually do is I put the lid on, bring it all the way up to a boil. Once it starts to boil, then I just turn it off and I let it simmer for about 20 minutes. I did realize I got a little head start on that, not fully reading my enchilada recipe, but that's okay. The rice still came out perfect. It just sat a little bit longer than what I really wanted it to do. So now in the other pan, you are going to add and heat up some olive oil. You will add the onions, and I also added green peppers because remember we pre-chopped all of these a couple of days ago. So we're just using everything that I've got cooked already. Now my garlic was frozen because I usually make my garlic pucks, and I can link a recipe to that as well on how I do that. But I keep them still in the freezer. So my garlic pucks were a little frozen. So all I did was just microwave it for about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. and then I added it into my pan, and then that thawed it all out, and you can really smell the delicious garlic flavoring. It is absolutely divine. You're going to want to cook that for a few more minutes. Now, if you remember, again, in a couple of videos ago, I did 6 chicken breasts in my Instapot because I knew I was going to be making this over the next couple of days. So I shredded all this chicken, but if you want to go ahead, you can go to the store, go pick up a rotisserie chicken that's already pre-done, pre-cut for you. That is certainly still okay. But like I said, I was trying to use as many ingredients in my house as possible without having to go to the store. Along with adding the chicken in with the the onions, the green peppers, and the garlic, you're going to want to add some cumin and some salt and pepper. You're going to stir to combine. You want to cook that for about another 2 to 3 minutes. After you've done that, you're going to want to remove it from the heat. Let it cool slightly before mixing in a cup of cheese. Now, you can use whatever cheese you have on hand. You know, this does call for Monterey Jack and like cheddar. I didn't have that. I just had mozzarella. That's what I used. Now, I did take my tortillas and I did put them in the microwave so they could become a little bit more pliable. And you are supposed to take your tortilla and dip it all the way in the sauce, but I did not want to do that. So I just took a spoon, added as much sauce onto each tortilla that I wanted to. I added the chicken mixture with it. I rolled it nice and tight. I placed my seam sides down in the baking dish because you don't want to have them open all up in the middle of cooking. And you're going to you're going to repeat with the remaining tortillas and the filling until everything is all gone. It did take 10, so that worked out perfect. Now, once you have done all that, you're going to pour the remaining red sauce over the rolled enchiladas, and you're going to sprinkle with the remaining cheese. You will want to go ahead and cover that dish with some aluminum foil, and you're going to want to bake it for about 20 minutes. Then you're going to remove the foil and bake it again for additional 10. You want to get that cheese melted and nice and bubbly. Allow the enchiladas to cool for a few minutes before serving, and you can go ahead and garnish it with fresh cilantro or sour cream. I did not do any of that. My rice was cooked perfectly, and then, like I said before, I used the remaining chicken broth, and that was our dinner for that night. So sometimes when the problem is when you're trying to add too much flavor, it is easy to go overboard on the spices, and before you know it, your dish can be ineligible. So that's why you really want to go ahead and make sure you taste as you go. It may be even as simple as adjusting the salt. You also got to understand that some stuff can be salted. Now, my broth is not salted, so that's why sometimes I may need to add a little bit more broth to it, just to make, some salt to my broth, just to make sure I still give it that little bit of a kick. Now, talking about broth, I'm going to show you in a few minutes that I was finally able to go ahead and take care of all of that ham broth and that pork broth. I was able to get 5 ham and 6 pork. I did allow them to cool in my refrigerator, and then I placed them in the freezer. I am going to be using those in my future videos, and I will show you what I use for them. So if you're an enchilada lover like we are, I would love to hear about your favorite variations in the comments below. And if you're looking for a more tasty recipe, be sure to check out some of my other videos. Thank you for allowing me to come into your home today. If you like these videos, please like, share, but most importantly, go ahead and subscribe and keep on cooking. Look at that. That is the most beautiful dish that I ever seen in a long time. Bye, y'all.